Hello and welcome to Eniolala Land. Today I want to talk about creating art and being an artist, putting your work out into the world while feeling as if maybe it's not reaching the people that you want it to reach. It's not gaining the traction that you know it deserves, and the importance in staying persistent in that. I'm currently in that chapter myself. I'm working on my own business, anything I want. Really looking forward to waking up every day and doing my work. And yes, it's hard because building anything is going to be hard. Working any job is going to be hard, but it's a kind of hard that is fulfilling to me and my soul. And I feel like it's interesting because prior to where I was in the past, where I would make stuff and I had a lot of friends, a lot of people around me who knew me, who supported me, like a bigger support group than right now. Right now, my support group has become much more niche down. I was off Instagram for about 2 years because I couldn't get back into my account. Going back in with this new vision, this new brand identity, this new ideas that I want to put out there, I find that a lot of the work that I'm creating, I post it and then it gets no interaction, no traction, nothing at all. And I could easily take this as a sign of like, wow, well, no one likes what I'm doing, I should just stop. But I find that I take this as a challenge of a moment for me to reflect and ask myself, how dedicated am I to this vision, to this idea, this dream in my heart of creating a business where artists can really be who they want to be and just like share their vision, their ideas to the world, and in a way that makes others feel good. Creating content for business and brands that are more about wellness and growing into a version of yourself that you are proud of. And I find that there's actually a lot of blessings that can be found in these moments of feeling like you're being hidden from the world. And so I kind of want to talk specifically about what some of those blessings could be, right? One of the blessings that I'm finding that I'm feeling in this moment is I don't feel the pressure of trying to show up in the world as who I think people want me to be, but rather showing up in the world as who I want to be, writing about things that I feel passionate about, things that I feel like I can stand by this. This is who I really am, rather than, oh, if I do this, then maybe this algorithm will pick it up and maybe this thing will happen. Or like if I do this trend, even though I don't really feel like doing this trend, like maybe that will be the reason that I blow up. But I find that I know who I want to be, and I want to be more of someone who creates their own path and walks their own path and goes their own way. And if I feel called to do something that someone else has done, then I will. But if I don't feel called to do that, I'm not going to. And so being in this space of not feeling seen by the online world, the world around you, can actually help you kind of figure out for yourself, why am I even doing this? What is my purpose in creating the things that I'm creating? And if you become more clear as to what your purpose is, what your vision is, you won't feel the need to cater it to someone else's ideas and their visions. Because I find that I've heard a lot from other people who might have blown up, seem to have a similar narrative of, once I became big, I started to not know when I was doing something for myself versus when I was doing it for the audience that had gathered around me and the things that I'd created. And I find that when things take time to develop, you can really figure out what it feels like for you when you're doing something for you rather than doing something for the acclamation of what this or that person is going to say, what this or these group of people are going to do in response to it. And you kind of figure out what your voice is. And I think that I'm taking this time to more so figure out what my voice is, how I feel, and what's important to me overall. We interrupt this message for an Eniolala Land outfit check. One of the first things I feel like this chapter of my life is teaching me is resilience. Resilience is something that is required throughout any season of our lives. I feel like as we grow, we definitely need to nurture this sense of, I'm going to keep going no matter what happens. I'm going to keep on living. I'm not going to allow the opposition that has confronted me up until this moment to keep me from going towards a life that I believe in, towards a life that I feel like I wouldn't be on my deathbed saying, oh, I wish I had, oh, I wish I had taken that chance or gone down that path or tried to seize that opportunity or create an opportunity of some sort. Follow my intuition. I don't want to look at the end of my life and wonder, why didn't I go after that thing that I really wanted so badly? Why didn't I try to bring that idea to life? I don't want to be on that level of what ifness, and I don't want that for you either. I don't think that any of us want that for ourselves, but some of us are just too afraid to go after that, right? And sometimes when we feel like we're putting work out there and we're not getting the acknowledgement that we think that we deserve, we sometimes get into the state of mind of, well, no one's paying attention to me anyway, so I should just not bother. I should just stop whatever it is that I'm doing and go and just be more conventional or try a style that everyone else is already creating, or do something that I know that I don't want to do, that I know that I wouldn't feel good waking up to do every day. But at least there's safety. At least there I won't have to suffer with this sense of stage fright of standing in front of the entire world, creating something, and everyone kind of being like, what is that person doing? Whatever, looking the other way. I feel like on some level, when you're trying to create a life that you're proud of, you have to reach this point of, even if everyone looks the other way on me, I can't look the other way on myself. I need to build the resilience for this race of life. And whether or not you believe in God, God has a lot of wisdom on this subject. There's one specific quote that comes to my mind, which is Ecclesiastes 9:11, and it basically says, "For I've seen everything under the sun, and I know that the race is not to the swift, and the battle is not to the strong." And it goes on to describe other things. But for me, this verse is full of so much wisdom because it basically helps me remember that it might take time to get where you want to go, but if you have the resilience, you are likely to go further than the person who goes really fast at the beginning and then burns out. If you wake up every day and you're consistent towards the goal that you have in your mind and in your heart, and you don't let anything else deter you, don't let any habits, substances, abusive relationships. That's why even though I was lonely for a while, I realized that being single is a blessing, because I don't have some guy in my mind and messing up my state of mind to keep me in bed depressed over what if not, will he, won't he, when I really want to be building this life that I'm proud of, and to be able to bring someone into that with me, someone who has the resilience to run this race with me. Which brings me to point number 2, consistency. Consistency is what's going to get us there, wherever there is, whether the goal is to just be happy, be peaceful, be fit, be successful. I feel like success, that's another video probably. The definition of success is not necessarily what we think it is, or it shouldn't be what we often think it is. But I find that when you dedicate yourself to this idea of I'm just going to do what I want to do anyway. I'm not going to stress about whether or not this person is liking it, or how many people are liking your post, how many people are seeing your post, how many people are commenting, engaging, all of those things, how many people are liking your art or whatever. None of those things matter. What matters is how consistent are you going to be? How consistent am I going to be on this journey, right? How consistent am I going to be in terms of bringing what I want into fruition? How consistent am I going to be in terms of letting go of the habits that have been holding me back, that I know have been holding me back, that I've been lying to myself about whether or not they were holding me back? How ready am I to become consistent in taking the path and making the choices to create a life that I am actually proud of? Consistency is the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I know that I want to create this future for myself, so I'm going to do the next best thing. Even if I don't know what it looks like, how it's going to work out, I'm going to do the next best thing. I'm going to be consistent in terms of how often I show up to work on this project, to work on this vision, to work on this relationship, whatever it is. All of these things can be applied to our lives as a whole. But I find that because I'm not allowing myself to be lost in what other people think about me, because I think at the end of the day, it's the fear of what others think that keep us from making the choices that we know is right for us, right? If David was really concerned about what everyone thought about him, he would not have ever said, I can beat Goliath. I can do it. Like, put me in, coach, basically is what he said. And everyone's like, you're a child. Who do you think you are to even say those words? But David didn't care. David knew that I'd rather take this chance because there's something in my heart that's telling me to stand up and seize this opportunity. I'd rather do that and look like a fool in front of everyone than to not do it and go to sleep wondering, I wonder what would have happened if I had taken that chance. And the same with when you're creating art, when you have a vision, an idea, a goal in mind, don't think about what others are going to say about it. Don't think about whether or not people are going to give you the instant gratification of showing up for you. Are you going to show up for you? Are you going to be consistent in showing up for yourself? I think that is the most important thing. And that is what you can remind yourself when you find yourself in this season of, I'm making what I know in my heart I should be making. I'm doing what I know in my heart I should be doing. And it's radio silence. Am I going to be consistent and keep doing it anyway? Okay, I'm looking for another location, but then I was like, maybe I should just record as I'm walking. It's not the most flattering angle, but whatever. This brings me to point number 3, being a self-starter. When you find yourself in this season of radio silence, just from the world around you, that need for external validation is just not being fulfilled, are you going to be a self-starter? Are you going to keep going anyway? Are you going to realize that any success that you gain, whether or not people show up for you, you need to, if you want any real joy from it, you need to be a self-starter. So what does it mean to be a self-starter? Being a self-starter basically means whether or not someone tells you to do something, you're going to tell yourself to do it. Whether or not someone gives you the blueprint, you're going to start drawing and allow the picture to show itself to you. To me, that is what it means when, with the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. The question is, where are you getting your daily bread from? If you need external validation to tell you to keep on doing that thing, you're getting your daily bread from other people. If you figure out how to feel that inner knowing of this is what I'm supposed to do, that is when you're getting your daily bread from your inner self, God, spirit, something that loves you unconditionally and knows what is good for you. It's nudging you in the right direction, telling you, let go of this habit, let go of that habit. Come here, be here with me. Allow me to show you how you can live a life that is based in trust, in the unknown. Being a self-starter is a part of that. When you are able to find that source from yourself, you are able to be more grounded so that when you do eventually get where you're aiming to go, you know that what got you there is not other people's acclamations and other people's approval. It was your resilience, your consistency, and your ability to be a self-starter. Your ability to know where to go to get your daily bread. And I'll always say this, I'm not pushing religion on you, but for me, I strongly believe that God is the reason why I feel the well-being that I feel today. I feel a sense of peace. I feel a sense of trust, even though I'm not at all where I want to be. I know that because I have this feeling of love in protection and this feeling of keep going, Eniola. Keep making that art. Keep making that content. Keep speaking those words and allow your true self to shine through. Just keep going. That keep going energy is coming from the love of the God that lives in me that is helping me learn how to be a self-starter in Him or her, whatever you want to call God. And I trust that as I continue to push through this season of my life where I feel like I'm making things that I am proud of, but I don't know if it's reaching the people that I feel like it should reach. But that's not for me to figure out. That's not for me to decide. That's not for me to control. The only thing I can control is if I'm going to wake up every day, record that episode, create that post, work on my website, teach myself things from the bottom up, creating things from scratch, just because I know that this feels like the only right thing I can do right now. Being a self-starter is all a part of this. Which brings me back to the beginning. All of this comes together to emphasize one really important fact, which is overcoming the need for external validation. Allow this radio silence to teach you that. I'm allowing it to teach me that. They're all teaching me how to no longer rely on external validation, but instead figure out who I am and why I feel that it is valuable and necessary to show up in the world in the ways that I desire to show up in the world. And why I'm bothering to do any of this at all. Why am I bothering to even make this video? Because this is my authentic voice. Whether or not this video reaches 0 people, 1 person, 30 people, 100 or more, I cannot say that I did not show up today as my authentic self. I cannot say that I did not wake up today and get things done. And all of this ultimately leads me to my final point. Be weird, be free, and most importantly, be you. I encourage you to do that. Wherever you are, keep going. This is a video to myself. It's a video to you. It's like I'm telling myself right now, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. You deserve the things that your heart desires. But don't forget that the thing that your heart desires the most is to create that thing. And don't allow external validation to keep you from creating. And share your authentic self to the world. Be you, be weird, and be free. Mwah.